The tank role is something that not many people enjoy or purposely want to pick. It's a handful of people would actually enjoy picking that role. And the main part is it's not flashy. It's not fun. It's just you are a meat shield and you will be supported by your DPS. Your whole job is that you bring the team forward and push objectives while your DPS basically takes all the credit. And it's something that a lot of games struggle making fun. The tank role is not something that anybody can just pick up and learn and be easy. It takes time. And it is something that needs to be studied in a way. And what I think Deadlock has done is something revolutionary. They have made the tank role fun. And not only fun, but versatile.
Want it, but I feel like his ult is one of the weakest in the game. If I'm going to be honest with you, his ultimate is easily one of the weakest in the game right now. And we're about to get it off to a start with a Paradox dying. Kelvin gets it and gets to confirm. He gets the first blood of the game. Huge kill by the Kelvin. You know, again, like I said, a Kelvin Abrams combo in lane.
So Deadlock right now is an early alpha, and it's something that needs to be taken with a grain of salt on everything they do right now. You know, the game could change in about 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months, a year from now. The game could be completely different. But currently in the meta, what they have done so far is they've made the tank role something where you can pick and not fall asleep on, with diverse characters and different classes you can do with them. And you can make a DPS class, a full tank class, someone who can move fast. You can do whatever you want with these classes. But the items are not the ones that change you. It's you. You can make that into a character. So of course the character themselves are all different. But on top of that, pairing them up with your personality, with your style, and with the items, you can make a tank class versatile. The tank class is something that is very, very interesting. Let's look into some of these characters that you would consider a tank class, because currently right now, Deadlock has no class. There is no specifically, okay, this is a tank class, this is a DPS, this is a support. I think most of the community has kind of come together and understood, okay, this is most likely going to be a tank class, or this is objectively a tank class. And I want to go over some of these characters because they all play completely differently. There is no one tank that is exactly identical to another tank. It's very different, and I really commend Valve for changing how tanks should be played and how they should be utilized. Abrams. Abrams is a very interesting character because he relies on close quarters. And yes, of course, duh, he's a tank. But not only on that, his kit makes him basically versatile. So for example, his Q ability. Recently, it got an update where if you build Spirit, it increases in size. So imagine you can do so many things with it because you can also lifesteal with it. On top of that, he has a shoulder charge where he can charge at you, stun you, and then he can beat the shit out of you.
How this team turn out. Again, I've been saying Skyline's draft, I think they won draft overall. So, oh my god. He managed to fool with a parry. Wait, can Abrams get the kill? It's a 1v1. He's beating the shit out of him. Mike Tyson. It looks like prime Mike Tyson out here. Oh my god, and he got him with the feint. He feeked him with the double feint. Absolutely crazy one-on-one with the Abrams. Just crazy. It looked like Mike Tyson out there. Prime Mike Tyson.
Because his class and his playstyle is mostly melee. He has a gun, of course, but he's versatile and he relishes in the melee, in the fight-on-fight contact. Another thing with him is that his ultimate is his bread and butter, if I'm going to be honest with you. That is what team fights really, really dictate. So his ultimate really is that he goes in the air, he holds it, and then he can slam down and stun you. So imagine in a team fight where you can get a group setting and then you stun all of them. It's very, very good. And it really, really brings out the shine in him. Now, what I say is versatile is you can play around with him. He's not slow by any means. He is you can make him to a pretty fast character as well. Moen Krill. So Moen Krill right now in this current patch, he is objectively the best tank in the game. So you must wonder why is a mole or a guy riding a mole the strongest character in the game? Well, let me get into it. Moen Krill's very hard to kill. Especially, arguably, and you can ask anybody, he is one of the hardest characters to kill. Not because of his massive HP, but the amount of things he can do. So again, one of his abilities is disarm. He can throw a range at you, and if you're within an area, he can disarm you where you can't shoot your gun for a certain amount of time. That being said, a game that is basically everybody has a gun makes you kind of very, very annoying to kill. The other thing is where he is a mole, so one of his abilities is he goes into the ground, and even if you shoot at him, you do damage, you're not doing much. You're doing very little. So when he does that, and he can go around and escape, or he can go to you, he pops up, and he can stun you. But where he really, really shines is his ultimate. Now, you think a tank might have an ultimate where, oh, he can CC or he can stun a lot of people in a small group and area or a big group. No, that's not what he does. He can single-handedly pick a target and stun you for a certain amount of time, and you can't do anything about it. You can't activate any abilities, you can't run away, you can't shoot him. You are stuck and you are stunned for a certain amount of time. So now you're wondering, oh, it's just one person, why do you think that? The reason why he's so strong and so unique in that kind of way is that he can pick a character that is maybe being fed or is too strong. He can single-handedly pick that character, and if your team coordinates around him, you can pick off that character and just stop them from farming. Now, this is a very interesting thing because it's like, oh, then why are you alone? You'd be surprised how many people would be alone and just roaming and getting a little cocky. Moe Krill is a character where if the other team player is getting a little too cocky, you shut them down. And you can stun them, basically. Now, Dynamo. Purpose Gaming was able to turn that around. Dynamo was trying to get away, but I have no idea if he's able to get away from this. He's being chased. There's a cat and mouse thing. He's jumping around, building a building like Spider-Man. And he's able to get away with a sliver of health. No, the Vindicta kills him. This is the third one. Of course, there's other tanks, but I'm going to talk about only Dynamo for now, where he is something where he's interesting. He doesn't play like Abrams, or he doesn't play like Moe Krill. He doesn't really rely on a lot of close quarter combats. That's not his bread and butter. So what he does is he is a support slash tank. So he's basically a little bit of a both. Now, let me explain why. One of his abilities is pretty standard. He has an AoE where it heals you within your AoE. So you can consider that as a support item or a support ability. But he also has a stun ability where he slams on the ground and he stuns you up, which is pretty cool because that's another ability that a tank should have. But another ability that he really, really thrives in is actually two. One of them is where he teleports. I say teleport, but it's really more just traveling in a small distance. His ability is that he takes wherever you're around him, he can teleport you upwards or anywhere direction he picks, and then you're basically invulnerable and you can't be killed while you're in that little state. Now, the reason I say that's a very strong ability is there's abilities within the game where you can get stunned, where you can get grabbed, where you can get clawed, and you're stuck in one spot. That ability alone negates all of it. It breaks you off from that, and then you're unstuck. So it's a very, very unique ability where you can get out of somebody's basically ultimate. But arguably his best ability is his ultimate. Now, let me explain what his ultimate is. Just like Moe Krill, it's the same thing, but he has a black hole. And that black hole stuns people within the group and keeps them in there. Now, what I say is a good thing is this brings multiple people. You can bring the entire 6 team in there, or you can bring a few people. And if you have a support or a DPS with you, they can just melt them. Now, you're wondering, okay, you're explaining these, but how are these fun? The reason I'm explaining it is that you can completely take over the game. They make the game flashy. You're the same speed, or mostly, for the most part, the same speed as everybody in the game. And you have your own gun, you can build a DPS class, and you can also build a support class. What I'm trying to get at here is that the DPS and the support class and the tank class, they all play differently. But what I see Deadlock and, of course, Valve has made is they had made the tank class something that you can enjoy. Something that you can have fun with, but also take over the game without being shown as a meat shield. If you found this video and you are unaware, or if you've heard of Deadlock and you're unaware, for maybe if you came from League of Legends or Dota or Overwatch and you're a tank main, I highly suggest you try to give Deadlock a try. The tank in this game are very fun. I've played a few myself. I've tried Abrams, I've tried Modem Krill, I've tried Warden, I've tried Dynamo. They're very, very fun classes because you can make them fun. The items in the game, the abilities in the game, they are something where you can have fun. You can either be in a 1v1 situation and really dominate that kind of way, or you can be in a team setting where you can be a full support. I can't explain to you how much fun it is. You have to play the game. I can never convince you enough. No amount of videos of me talking about a tank class can ever convince you to play the game. I say give it a try. Playing the game and really seeing how much in depth they've done with the game can't do it justice enough. If you like the video, please subscribe and like it. If you like more videos, I would love to do more of these series in the future and would love to talk about other classes and how Deadlock is going to be the future. I think Deadlock in maybe a year, I say maybe in 2 years, will be one of the biggest games in the world. I even say very confidently that it will rival League of Legends and it will rival Dota 2 as a competitor in the market. If you guys haven't already, you know, clocked in and really tried the game out, I would highly recommend it, as this game is only improving and they've only come out with better up patches. Every patch has gotten better and better and really made the game more refined. So thank you guys for watching and goodbye.